Hey, I'm Travis.
And I'm Adele.
And we are The Noble Marriage. We hope that through our channel, you will be inspired and motivated so that your marriage will be all that God created it to be. Hey, and welcome back. We are so excited. We are starting a mini series with a really cool couple.
Yeah, we're excited for you guys to get to know them a little bit like we did throughout their interview. So let's tell them a little bit about who they are.
Yeah, so it's Pastor Tim and Nona Jones, and they lead Open Door Ministry in Gainesville, Florida.
And Nona is a preacher, business executive, author, entrepreneur. She's the founder of Faith and Prejudice, and she is the head of faith-based partnerships at Facebook.
They have two boys, Timothy and Isaac.
Their story, wow, it is a dynamic, very transparent, powerful story. And it's filled with both pain and hope. You know, they share a little bit about their journey over losing several children and how they worked through that. And it was just such an incredible story that I was definitely inspired and really filled up talking to them. So
you can tell their heart is so open, and it's refreshing having great conversation with them. And I think you're gonna love what you're about to hear.
Yeah, so let's jump in. We hope you really enjoy this mini series.
So in your marriage, what are the biggest mountains that you guys have overcome together?
And a mountain would be like your best moments in life that you've been able to share together. And then we're we're going to ask you the opposite of the valleys that you've been in, and how did you work through those?
And in the mountains, when you're up there, like, how did you celebrate those things that you've experienced?
Wow. I mean, well, we've had so many mountains. I mean, we've purchased homes, we've taken trips. I probably have to say, the birth of our children.
For sure.
Yeah. A funny mountain that we both kind of did together was when we did the race together in Paris.
Oh, well, but kind of before that was the literal mountain in Bermuda.
So here's the scoop. My wife and I like to run. Well, no, let's stop.
No. Let's clean it up.
Okay. Let me clarify. My wife likes to run. She runs every day. But one of the things she likes to do is challenge me to these races.
No, I don't challenge him. He challenges himself. He's like, anything you can do, I can do better.
So we every year we try to go someplace and go on vacation together and run a race. And so that year we went to Paris, and there was a half marathon and a 10K. And so I generally just work out in the gym, weights still, but I tend to stay in fairly decent shape. So she challenged me. She said, well, honey, I think you should try to do the 10K, but that may be a little too much.
You're thinking about Bermuda. Are you thinking
Wasn't
about
it the 10K in
The 10K was Bermuda. The half was Paris.
Was it a half marathon in Paris?
Yes.
Oh God. Yeah. So, all right, but I'll still say with the Paris one.
Yeah.
So I'm not the long distance runner. I've had knee surgeries before. And so long distances don't normally work well for me. But I said, hey, if you're going to do it, I'm going to do it too. We're going to do it together.
Yeah.
We got out there and run the race. It was absolutely probably the most horrific day to ever run a race.
It was raining.
Freezing, cold. It was raining. There was potholes everywhere. There was hills everywhere. And, I'm running this race, y'all, and just to try to keep this short, I'm making it through. And for some reason in Paris, they had about a mile out,
from the finish.
Yeah, from the finish line. When you run a race, they have this big banner that they put up so that when you run underneath it, you know that I've run it. Well, for some reason, Paris, they had one like a mile before you got to the finish line. So I'm giving it everything that I got. I see the finish line. I see this thing, which I think is the finish line. I'm giving it my all because I want her to see me coming through this thing with power and energy. I run through it, and then I keep seeing people running. And I'm like, why are all these people? Like, what's going on? I didn't see her. There were the people lining up. And then I finally figured out that the thing was like a mile down the road. And so I ran down there. Oh my God, I did that. My knees were on fire for the next 2 or 3 days.
But it was great.
But we did it together.
Yeah, I mean, we did it. Now, let me tell you that the context he's leaving out, and this is important, is it was supposed to be a girls' trip. So I have a couple friends who are runners, and we're supposed to go run this Paris, half marathon together as a girls' trip. When he found out it was in Paris, he was like, "There's no way you're going to Paris without me." And then I was like, "Well, if you're going to do that, you have to run. Like, you're not going to just come, stay in the hotel, eat croissants, and drink hot chocolate." Like, so that's what happened. But it's been so fun because he will, like, things that I like to do that's not necessarily his thing, he'll do it. Similarly, things that he likes to do that I'm not necessarily interested in, I'll do it. And I think that's what makes the mountain is when we do things together because we love each other and we have fun. And now we have this joke that he'll never die down, like at the 12th mile, thinking he's done. And no, he had a mile to go.
Yeah.
I bet that last mile was the longest mile you had to run.
He said he hoped that the Lord was not listening to his thoughts. He was like, "Lord, please just."
I was dying inside. I mean, I was giving it my all. But we did that together. I mean, another one.
Literally together. But we were in the race.
She's a lot faster than I am, long distance. Like, it's not even close. She's way ahead. And so I knew that she was going to be at the finish line just waiting on me. But man, that was one that we did. That was a mountain. I mean, and then if I had to say one more, maybe just ministry, just doing ministry together.
Yeah. That's
being called into that
together, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
really
also
active in your church.
Yeah, so he's the senior pastor, and so I have an itinerant ministry as well. So I'll travel and preach in other places, and it's always been a blessing to where if I'm in the audience and he's preaching, I'm like, yes. And if he's in the audience and I'm preaching, he's like, yes. And so, that's a huge mountain for us. The thing I love.
Let's sit there for a second.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful to me because a lot of times, even in our marriage in the past, I was not Adelle's biggest cheerleader. Sometimes I saw her as not being on the same team as me. And I can see how when I'm coming alongside her and boosting you up and encouraging you, that gives you the fuel and power. Whereas if I'm not, it's bringing you down.
So much more effective.
It is. And I see other marriages that are like that almost separate on other teams and they aren't encouraging and aren't lifting each other up. That's so powerful. I feel like when Adelle is encouraging me, I'm Superman. Mm-hmm. I can take on the world, it feels like. And when she's not, I feel so defeated. And so it's great that you guys are, being each other's cheerleader and encouraging each other.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, I think there's a misconception that that people have because this is our primary relationship. Whenever I speak somewhere, I always say, I do a lot of things, but my first ministry is my family, and my marriage is the pinnacle of that first ministry. To where you can be affirmed by the world, but if your spouse is kind of like indifferent, it does hurt. It definitely hurts because that's where you should have safety, and that's where you should feel the most love. Because this is I know him at his worst. He knows me at my worst. Like people can see me on a stage, all made up with the nice outfit and stuff. He sees me at home with the hair bonnet and just.
And you still look absolutely beautiful, gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, we'll okay, but he sees me and he still loves me and that matters. Like that really, really matters. So I thoroughly agree.
Well, and if I can add to that, man, in my marriage, and I maybe others don't have this problem, but I can be very critical and sometimes critical of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I could spend hours going through a sermon or something that we've done. How could we have done this better, man, whatever. And it's easy to get discouraged or to get down on yourself. And my wife literally is my biggest cheerleader. Sometimes I feel like she's my counselor. She's like my spiritual counselor. Because we literally talk about everything.
Yeah.
And she's the person that I share, the most deepest, intimate type things going on in my life. And I feel very blessed to have her to be that coach. So when you're talking about the encourager, I think we all need that. You get criticism and praise from everybody else, but if you're not getting that from home, man, it can leave you wanting. And so that's very important that we do that for each other.
Yeah.
How have you guys seen God work in your marriage with both of you being in ministry?
Our entire marriage is a testimony to faith in God. So I relented to his leadership. And I was like, all right, Lord, well, this is not what I want, but I'll follow my husband. Every job I've ever had, I think even for you, has been created out of thin air.
Thanks so much for watching. Join next week. We're going to continue with the next portion of this series.
We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.